Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining today's webinar on how can healthcare companies create new business models with AI. You can put on the chat where are you from, what is your name, and meet with other people. And I would like to emphasize that the webinar will be recorded, and I will send you a link to the recording. I will also share the presentation where you will find the links to all sources I referred to in the presentation. And a couple of additional notes. My neighbor in the office decided to make some renovation today, so if there will be too much noise on your side, please let us know, and we'll try to act accordingly. Okay, let's start. Today's agenda, I want to share with you some facts and key statistics about the healthcare industry from my research, along with the top challenges that healthcare industry faces and example of AI solutions that can solve them, what you should avoid when starting AI research, the most common risks associated with building a new AI business models in your company. And if we have some time and you have some questions, we will take also Q&A. If we won't be able to answer all of them on the webinar, we will send you follow-up on the emails with sharing some additional notes and answers. Okay, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Przemi, which is a nickname I'm using because my Polish name is Przemek Przemysław, which sounds similar to Przemi, but the real name is quite hard to pronounce for the people outside from the Poland, so I decided to use a nickname for easier conversation. And the topic of this webinar is very related to the two factors that are very important in my life on a daily basis. First, the healthcare industry, and second, the artificial intelligence. At the age of 10, I was diagnosed with diabetes and my life was turned upside down. How I experienced each day was based on the continuous calculations, and data became the driver behind everything I ate, drank, and did. As I've grown older, I've only come to appreciate the power of data even more, and I took on the role of data scientist at CERN to pursue my interest in the field. And I've since gone on to help found two companies. One is Diabetes Lab that works on the Suguard mobile application using ML, AI, and data science to help those with diabetes. And D-Labs AI company that uses AI and machine learning to help business improve workflows, drive efficiencies, and discover new AI business based models. My team and I get to harness data to improve not only the lives of those with diabetes, but the lives and businesses of our global client base as well. So we use AI and ML to help business improve workflows, discover new business models, and drive efficiencies inside their internal processes if the company is more mature, or build digital products in case of the startups. Okay, let's start with some statistics which brilliantly demonstrate the importance of applying AI in the healthcare industry. I hope this will be helpful because I talked with some of you before the webinar, and I know that at least a couple of people are trying or thinking about starting their new business in the space. So I hope this will be also helpful in terms of some inspirations. The global artificial intelligence in the healthcare market was valued at 10.4 billion in 2021 of US dollars, and it's expected to grow at the compound annual growth rate of 38% between now and 2030. And what's interesting is that 98% of the healthcare leaders say their organization either has or is planning to implement AI, with 48% having already implemented AI in their space. Okay, what about the money? Well, stats shows that AI-based applications could help the US healthcare sector save $150 billion per year by 2026. And I cited here data for the US only, but similar benefits are of course also being noted by other countries that are investing in AI. As you can see, the development of AI in the healthcare is not only necessary, but inevitable. If you're wondering what value this technology can bring to your organization and what risks its implementation entails, I hope this webinar will answer your questions. First, I would like to share with you my industry research and point out the most common problems or challenges facing the healthcare industry today, but it won't be complaining. On the contrary, I will present an example of an AI-based solutions that can deal with the particular issues for each of these points. Okay, well, let's get started. The first problem facing the health industry is staff shortages. You expected that. I experienced that also with my diabetes. And WHO estimates a projected shortfall of 15 million health workers by 2030, mostly in low and lower middle income countries. And the challenge will continue to grow more urgent as the world's population rapidly ages. The number of people aged 65 and older will more than double from about 700 million today to 1.5 billion by 2050. And the aforementioned staff shortages results in the longer shift for those currently employed in the industry. And despite additional funds being offered for longer shifts, healthcare employees have to face with the mental strain and making the industry harder and harder to work in. And how serious is this challenge? Stats shows that people in the healthcare industry, including physicians, nurses aides, and other employees, experience burnout more so than those in many other countries, other industries. And according to US News, 60 to 75% of clinicians report symptoms of depression, exhaustion, and even sleep disorders. So this is serious. Further statistics prove that worker burnout costs this country a lot of money each year. The figure is staggering. For 0.6 billion. Clearly, finding a work-life balance is a great obstacle in such a demanding line of work, and hospitals and clinics need to find a solution that helps them to find the balance. And the solution may be AI, of course. And according to Julian Bogdan from Healthcare Information and Management Systems Society, AI can help automate routine, repeatable tasks so you can deploy your human resources where they are most needed. That type of automation is the low-hanging fruit AI can provide to help adjust turnover rates and help reduce burnout. Another challenge, which at the same time is very much related to the previous two, is too many repetitive back-office tasks that leave doctors and nurses without enough time to interact with the patients. As you can see, between 1975 and 2010, the percentage of doctors working in the US went up 150%, while the number of healthcare admins went up 3,200 in the same time. And back office tasks that have nothing to do with the patient care consume 51% of the nurse workload and 16% of the physician's activities. This is related to another important problem, which is the fact that most primary care doctors don't have enough time for their patients. The need for rushed interactions between doctors and patients has been a problem for years, and it's only getting worse. As I mentioned before, doctors are forced to deal with administrative issues for up to 20 hours a week, meaning their time with the patient is shrinking. Naturally, patients do not feel listened to, and doctors feel stretched too thin. Stats shows that around half of all physicians spend less than 16 minutes with each patient. It's not enough. The lack of automation to support administrative workflows means that much of the work of experienced medical professionals is wasted by tasks that can be done by AI. And according to McKinsey report, 40% of tasks performed by non-clinical staff and 33% of duties performed by clinical staff can be done by AI. AI-based technologies like voice-to-text transcription, self-scheduling appointments, inputting data into the electronic health record, managing paperwork like filling prescription, ordering tests, and all of them can improve administrative workflows and eliminate many time-consuming activities. And they allow personnel to save time, focus on more important responsibilities, and avoid worker burnout. And there are a number of off-the-shelf AI-based solutions that can help overcome or mitigate the problem I outlined above. One of them is Kiona Health, that focuses on helping nurses and non-medical staff conduct triage over the phone, guiding them through symptoms checking, offering care recommendations, and automating appointment scheduling. Okay, another problem, low patient engagement. In the health industry, low patient engagement has been a challenge for years. And according to statistics, only 1 in 5 patients say their providers told them about the digital communication methods available to them. It is a big complex problem because patients who feel disengaged from their care plans and providers run an increased risk of poor health outcomes than their engaged counterparts. Stats show that disengaged patients are 3 times more likely to have unmet medical needs and 2 times more likely to put off medical care. And moreover, from the business perspective, patients who remain disengaged are likely to find other providers for their healthcare needs, not to mention they might leave you negative reviews, which can damage your practice reputation and cause you to lose revenues in the process. However, low patient engagement has the potential to affect much more than just your practice. It can also drastically decrease the quality of healthcare throughout the country, plus poor patient engagement comes at the price. And it can be costly in more ways than one. And the big part driving increased patient engagement is adopting the ever-evolving needs of the modern healthcare consumer. And according to a Deloitte survey, today's healthcare consumers want access to digital tools that are convenient, flexible, and user-friendly. And to meet this growing demand, healthcare practices need to adapt and engage with patients with the same communication channels they are already familiar with. Doing so go a long way in engaging, satisfying, and ultimately retaining your patients. With easy access to tools for scheduling appointments, messaging providers, accessing test results, requesting prescription refills, and more, patients are much more likely to take ownership of their healthcare. The tools that have the greatest impact on the patient engagement can include patient portals, automated appointment reminders, check-in technologies, telehealth visits, digital payments options, and last but not least, data analytics. Okay, a real-life example of AI solution is QReplies, healthcare platform that uses AI to be a patient's personal guide in their healthcare journey. It leverages AI-driven personalized care journeys to transform fragmented manual processes into connected, personalized digital healthcare experience, improves access and communication at every step of the healthcare journey, and automate any clinical or administrative healthcare workflow with a virtual assistant platform that unifies AI, human communication, and no-code configurability. The next challenge, substandard medication adherence and disease management. Medication non-adherence is estimated to affect as many as 40 to 50% of patients who are prescribed medications for management of chronic conditions like diabetes, heart disease, and hypertension. And not surprisingly, this comes at a high cost. Non-adherence to prescribed treatments causes at least 100,000 preventable deaths and $100 billion in unnecessary medical costs per year. Here comes artificial intelligence and machine learning to the picture, because using AI, you can develop user-aware apps in the form of mobile or wearable apps that learn about their users over time. They do not leave any information about users untapped. For instance, they may want to know if you're waking up, driving to work, lifting weight at gym, taking a nap at home, and so on. And knowing about your habits, activities, and the context would enable the app to respond to you at the key moment of the day. For instance, once you complete 7 hours of sleep, it would send a notification and motivate you to continue this habit. It would also pop up accurate reminders based on its knowledge of your daily routine and make sure you don't miss your medication despite your busy schedule or forgetful nature. And this can be also applied to diabetes as well. And as a person who struggles with type 1 diabetes, at this point, I would like to give you an example of my case. The care regimen of diabetics varies from person to person, and it is filled with complexity. They have to check their blood sugar level at regular intervals, take pills or inject insulin, follow a stringent diet and exercise plan. And AI-powered or user-aware app would know the habits, sleeping, historical health patterns of the user and engage them at the optimal moments. And suppose the patient is heading to the gym. The app would sense it and prompt the user to check the blood sugar. It would also ask the user to eat something before starting exercise, so they don't suffer from hypoglycemic reaction while doing exercise. And the app can also, being aware of the user's average work hours, sleeping patterns, exercise habits, would coordinate the care regimen with near perfection. It would tell the user to take pills or insulin at appropriate times without a fail. And what more, the app can also create a report of daily activities and share tailored insights with the patient and their caregiver. And this is how Suguard is supposed to work, an AI-based smartphone app that makes everyday life easier for people with the condition. And Suguard at the moment is an internal project we have been developing since 2014, which is when we founded Diabetes Lab, our second company focused on creating advanced software that helps people manage an illness using AI. And Suguard is both my idea and my dream. As someone struggling with the condition, I see a great need for such a personalized application. And my experience has driven me forward as I look for a solution to help me stay active and enjoy sports. Because people with diabetes typically require intensive treatment and exceptional care, especially during the sport activities. But that doesn't make them impossible. And I believe I'm showing an example that you can still play sports to a good level with the condition. And the reason I'm talking about that is my ambition to play sports drove me to create a solution that would help me. And I hope that soon it will be something that can help also a broader audience. Another example is Babylon, AI-powered personal healthcare assistant and telehealth platform. It helps you stay on the top of your health by providing a secure archive of your symptoms, conditions, and health assessments, all in one place. It also uses advanced AI and chatbot to help you track all of your symptoms and their severity and duration. You can plug all of the information into the health check feature to get an overview of your current and future health risks based on your lifestyle practices. Then you will receive suggestions to make changes based on your assessment and health profile. That way, even if it changes or gets worse, you will be more equipped to talk to a doctor about it. The challenge number 7, high drop rates. Patient no-shows are a long-standing issue affecting resources utilizations and posing a risk to the quality of healthcare services. They also lead to loss of anticipated revenue, particularly in services where resources are expensive and in great demand. Stats shows that the different no-show rates were reported from 12% to 80% in the various healthcare settings. The combined average no-show and the cancellation rate in the US and globally is 23%. No-shows occur when the patient fails to attend a scheduled appointment with no prior notification to the healthcare provider. They are missed healthcare utilized time slots and resources that can negatively affect the utilization of a space and human resources, obviously. Further, they can affect the patient's health condition due to the delay in the diagnosis or treatment. And the prospective patients can also be impacted and less satisfied due to their inability of scheduling timely appointments. Furthermore, generated revenue also decreases due to the reduction in the system's operational efficiency. And for instance, in a recent study, it was estimated that 67,000 no-shows can cost the healthcare system approximately 7 million. Such costs may be even much higher in some settings, such as radiology departments, where resources such as X-ray and the MRI machines are very expensive, and underutilization may cause huge financial constraints to the healthcare organizations. This problem can be also solved by AI. Apps like Ment can predict which patients are at high risk for a no-show or cancellation. And as you can see, these types of solutions achieve really good results. How it works? First, with just the click of a link, Ment creates a connection to share video, files, photos, messages, data reschedule and appointments, or collect forms. Then the AI algorithm first predicts when a patient may not show. Then the system automatically sends an appointment reminder sequence that encourages them to confirm or reschedule. When you enable Ment telehealth in your practice, the no-show rate is in the single digits. According to its creators, the tool predicts no-shows and cancellations before they happen with up to 99% of accuracy. Challenge number 8 is related to the tight budgets. Roughly 4 out of 5 healthcare executives said costs tied to poor budgeting and planning are passed on to their patients, according to a new report released by Centralis Performance Solutions and Wakefield Research. The study includes responses from 200 hospitals and health system executives. And moreover, 3 out of 4 healthcare executives said cost containment would be one of their most important goals in 2022. In fact, 37% of the executive surveyed identified cost containment as the single top priority of the year. Additionally, more than half of those surveyed said they were concerned about the cost of inflation, 52%. According to the same source, the executives offered different opinions on the best methods to trim expenses. But the majority, 57%, pointed to technology solutions as a way to find efficiencies, including using more automation to manage some administrative tasks. Others pointed to other ways to find growth, including workforce productivity, 21%, improving processes and reducing overhead. Okay, how significant can the use of AI be in the medical care? Well, Accenture estimates that AI applications in healthcare could save up to 150 billion annually by 2026. And in cash-strapped community hospitals, those kind of savings can help keep the doors open. In addition, AI has the potential to replace many of the manual tasks currently performed by radiologists, as well as integrating data mining into the electronic medical records processes. The next challenge is costly and lengthy drug development, very popular topic among VC funds and big companies recently, like Big Four. Drug development is an arduous process. The amount spent to develop any individual drug depends mostly on what it costs to conduct studies to prove it is safe and effective and secure regulatory approval. And that can range from 10 million to 2 billion, depending on what the drug is for. But what really drives up cost is the fact that 90% of medicines that start being tested in people don't reach the market because they are unsafe or ineffective. And part of the problem is the inefficiency of animal tests that remain the gold standard in pharmaceutical development. The needle in the haystack nature of drug discovery has led to staggering and ever-rising R&D costs. AI is resetting the status quo, and machine learning applications slash the time it takes to identify promising molecule candidates, helping researchers focus their efforts where it counts. With faster drug discovery at a lower cost, everyone wins. An example of this kind of solution is biotech organ on a chip platform for a drug development. This is the embedded IoT system designed for running, observing, and calibrating studies on the culture module and sending study and other data to the platform management application via a protocol, MQTT protocol for analysis. The system collects various data, such as study status, progress, pressure, and temperature, and it has the following key functionality. Automated process to program culture conditions, control of stretch parameters, control of media flow rates in the chip, functionality to eliminate bubble information. That can significantly accelerate the time and cost of implementing new drugs. And the last challenge, no data-driven decision, as we have seen 2 years ago. A healthcare industry that found itself fighting in the dark during the opening waves of the pandemic realized that it will need a forecasting system that provides a lens for the uncertainty ahead. Better sightlines can help healthcare companies prepare for shifts in the insurance market, the economy, utilization, consumer behavior, and future waves on infectious disease. Moreover, better forecasting is also needed in the day-to-day operations of medical facilities. As it turns out, the US healthcare system spends almost a third of its resources, 750 billion annually, on unnecessary services and inefficient care. And now I would like to point you to something very important. The healthcare industry produces an enormous amount of data. An IDC study estimates that volume of health data created annually, which hit over 2,000 exabytes in 2020, will continue to grow at a 48% rate year over year. And what exactly is healthcare data? Healthcare data may take many forms. One of the most prominent is electronic health records, of course. And EHRs are patient charts that may include various types of both structured and unstructured data, including medical histories, treatment plans, quantifiable lab and test results, and radiology images. But one of the difficulties with the healthcare data is that it includes many other types and sources of data, including paper records and data in the legacy systems. And there is the structured data that relates to health systems, financial transactions, as well as unstructured data such emails, contracts, call call center records, and much more. And there is confidential data about the employees and benefits, as well as patient and employee survey data, disease registries, data about the clinical trials and laboratory research, claims for insurance, and many more. And as technology growth on the market, will be more and more data from, for example, wearable devices that generates new health-related data. And in addition, as virtual and remote care rise in prominence, these digital services will generate new sources of data that will be stored in new places. And what relationship does that data have to the aforementioned problem of inappropriate business decisions? So for the most of the problem associated with unpredicted risks, unnecessary services, and inefficient care, data obviously is a key. First of all, data is helping healthcare providers prevent rapid health deterioration as much as intervening at the time that counts. Thanks to a surge in IoT-powered biomedical sensors, there are as much as 2,300 exabytes of healthcare data available for analysis today. And predictive analysis is a solution that uses data to analyze past events, occurrences, or patterns to forecast the future in a logical way. And this solution is growing fast in the healthcare industry. Data shows that healthcare data analytics is on a pace to reach global market value of 78 billion by 2027, and already accounts for 30% of the big data by volume. This solution can help practitioners answer questions like, which disease patients are likely to develop? How will they respond to different treatments? Will they be a no-show in their next medical appointment? Will they return to the hospital within 30 days of discharge? What are the chances that this cancer patient will recover if he is subjected to stem cell transplant or hormone therapy? What are the chances that this newborn baby will develop sepsis? Will this general ward patient deteriorate further and need admission to ICU in the next 48 hours? How many extra beds will I need to serve a rising number of patients in the second wave of coronavirus? Not many more, obviously. And what about the results? Well, with ready access to the data for myriad variables and with predictive analytics, risk prediction has come of age in healthcare. At the patient level, AI-driven risk assessments can help with early interventions against devastating and costly diseases. And data shows that this solution can reduce the mortality rate from 45% to 24% and cardiac arrest counts by 80%. On the macro level, big data and predictive analytics can even forecast epidemics. There are a mass of remarkable examples of using predictive analytics. And one of them is Esbati Gwinnett Hospital that observed a 35% reduction in critical event occurrences and 86% reduction in cardiac arrests after deploying a predictive analytics solution. But predictive analytics doesn't just have to be used to predict the risk of disease or epidemic, of course. From a more business-oriented perspective, it can also be used to predict sales performance, the number of users, or the results of a marketing campaign, etc. You can use it any way you want, depending on your needs and the data you have. Okay, short break for a coffee. But enough of the statistics. Let's talk a bit about some practical challenges in build AI businesses and solutions. Inertia is a powerful force. After all, if a company is doing well, teams often feel reluctant to take risk by making a significant change. And adopting a new technology like artificial intelligence will feel like a major shift. Next up, there is the challenge of convincing stakeholders to invest in a solution for which the returns can be somewhat unclear. Because where AI is concerned, you won't always know what you're building until you have made a start, which is another tricky obstacle to overcome. The only way to build and train an effective AI is with a sufficient amount of high-quality data. And the better the data, obviously, the better the outcomes. But the lack of stakeholders buy-in can cause companies to underinvest in the data management systems required to enable AI, leaving them unable to train an algorithm on how to solve their business problems accurately. That said, if your company uses a CRM tool to collect customer demographics, purchase behavior, or on-site interactions, you may have a data set you can use. And where there are gaps, online data libraries or even synthetic data can often fill them. But if your company isn't interested in AI in the principle, then you won't know what data you need, let alone how to structure it. And data is only half of the equation. You need the right skill set to make AI work. Yet, many companies struggle to hire data and machine learning specialists, leaving them unable to take ambitions further. And even where companies have a degree of in-house expertise, a lack of experience in the right fields can hinder progress. It can affect hiring, as departments won't know which roles to fill or how to assess candidates. And in some circumstances, heads of departments are simply underqualified to lead an AI implementation, resulting in inefficient processes, integration issues, or ongoing manual work that undermines the solution value. Despite its growth, AI adoption is in most businesses remains modest. One reason for this is many organizations have worked with AI agencies that don't really understand how to use the technology to deliver business value. As a result, many companies have had negative experience when dipping their toes in AI development, making them reluctant to dive in. Whereas had they worked with reputable and experienced AI vendors at the outset, the results would speak for themselves. And better still, had the vendors offered to tackle a small business problem first, proving the value of AI, the stakeholders would have found it easier to embrace more ambitious plans later on. Some organizations think that by implementing AI just for the sake of it, they will encourage company-wide adoption. Sadly, the strategy often has the opposite effect. When a company doesn't have a solid use case, it will struggle to create a solution that delivers business value. As a result, there will be no way to prove that artificial intelligence can solve everyday challenges. In all likelihood, the strategy will only reinforce the indifference felt towards the technology. So it's best to delay adopting AI until know how you will use it. And in our experience, people will only trust the computer model if they understand how it works. This is another very interesting trend nowadays. And even AI team can't offer an explanation, implementations can end there. The challenge only grows in the situations where a model output contradicts a stakeholder's thinking, because stakeholders always want to know why a decision is wrong and why they should consider changing their mind. Let's put this in the medical context for clarity. Suppose a doctor diagnoses a patient only for an algorithm to disagree. The doctor will need to know the logic behind the machine thinking before they can sign off on the alternate diagnosis, say by saying that a model used symptoms like sneezing and headaches to diagnose flu, not characteristics like a patient's age or weight. But offering transparency isn't always simple as a black box. Models often spit out a prediction without a rationale, leaving stakeholders without a way to validate the output. In large companies, AI teams often end up working in silos, meaning that while they use the same technologies, they do so in isolation. As a result, they build different infrastructures and adopt different workflows, which only complicates broader AI adoption. You can avoid this by using a hub and spoke structure, whereby one central unit aligns all teams around a standardized approach. That way, any investment in AI benefits the whole organization and brings economies of scale as you roll solutions out. It's astonishing how many organizations still rely on outdated infrastructure applications and devices to power their IT operations. And management often chooses not to adopt AI for fear of the costs of upgrading these systems. But the truth is, cloud computing means you can deploy AI without overhauling an antiquated IT network using data lake functions in hybrid environments. Doing so might require your company to have an operational framework on premises, but you still get to benefit from more effective AI-driven operations. Even if you manage to design a groundbreaking AI solution, there is no guarantee your company will adopt it. That's something Netflix discovered at a great cost in 2009. The streaming giant offered a $1 million prize to any developer that could increase the accuracy of its recommendation engine. And while one team managed to optimize it by some 10%, Netflix never integrated the upgrade. Why so? They said it required too much engineering effort, and so complexity meant the solution never saw the light of the day. And suppose a doctor changes their diagnosis based on the machine recommendation, only for the machine to be wrong. Is the practitioner to blame, or is it down to the algorithm's developer? These are ethical questions that regulators are yet to answer. Then there is the question of data management. When you build an AI solution, you need to collect vast quantities of data, and whether the data is sensitive or not, you need to keep it adequately secure. Fail to do so, and regulations mean your company could face a significant fine. Their line lines risks that many organization would rather not to take. Okay, now let's review the most common risks when building a new business model based on AI, and consider how to avoid them. One of the more damaging risks of artificial intelligence is introducing bias into decision-making algorithms. AI systems learn from dataset on which they were trained, and depending upon how this compilation occurred, there is the potential for dataset to reflect assumptions or biases. These biases could then influence system decision-making. With the International Data Corporation predicting that the global data sphere will grow from 33 zettabytes, it's 33 trillion gigabytes in 2018, to 175 zettabytes, 175 trillion gigabytes by 2025, vast amounts of structured and unstructured data is available for companies to mine, manipulate, and manage. As this data sphere continues to experience exponential growth, the risks of exposing customer or employee data will only increase, and personal privacy will become harder to protect. When data leaks or breaches occur, the resulting fallout can significantly damage the company reputation and represent potential legal violation, with many legislative bodies now passing regulations that restrict how personal data can be processed. The primary purpose of many AI systems is to make predictions. And as such, the algorithms can be so inordinately complex that even those who created the algorithm cannot thoroughly explain how the variables combined together reach the resulting prediction. This lack of transparency is the reason why some algorithms are referred to as a black box, and why legislative bodies are now beginning to investigate what checks and balances may need to be put in place. Maybe the explainable AI can help this. Considering the potential risks of AI discussed so far, these concerns lead to the question of legal responsibility. In instance, if an AI system is designed with fuzzy algorithms and machine learning allows the decision-making to refine itself, then who is legally responsible for the outcome? Is the company, the programmer, or the system? And every problem and challenge is different and must be treated individually. Fortunately, my team and I know very well how to avoid all those risks associated with AI implementation. So a bit how we can help. If you're planning to implement AI but don't know how to get started, I will be more than happy to help you. As I mentioned in the introduction, my company has its roots in creating an AI product for people with diabetes. And healthcare is the industry closest to my heart. And exactly what kind of support are we able to offer? As you can see on the slide, we offer both consulting, assistance in building AI products, and creating an entire end-to-end AI solutions. Our team includes not only AI experts, but also front-end, back-end, or QA specialists. So we are able to build the entire project from scratch that will help you with the digital transformation or building a new digital product. You see, while we have helped plenty of companies use AI to get better at what they already do, we have seen more radical changes where we have helped clients discover an entirely new business model. Because this has enabled them to monetize their brand via new products and services, which shows how alongside offering engineering skills, we also help clients evaluate novel ideas and determine if they make sense or if are even achievable, convince stakeholders to invest in AI, unlock new businesses possibilities using AI and such as the highest ROI investment, and actually implement AI building the tech, as well as prepping the people and processes, which ensures the company hits the KPI it wants. As if anything, when you find a technology partner that can offer comprehensive support alongside technical skill, success is much more likely, and nowhere is this more than true in AI space. But let's get back to the topic of this webinar, which is creating AI business models. AI business models offer great potential in healthcare. The secondary healthcare market is becoming increasingly relevant, which has great potential with meaningful, high-quality AI applications in terms of monetization, as well as for personal health and health maintenance. We offer complex help with expanding your business models by optimizing existing and developing novel offerings with AI. And we can help you with AI-based improvement of an existing offering without changing your existing revenue models. We can help you improve, facilitate, and automate an existing offering with AI, differentiate your products. And second, we can help you with building a new revenue models for your novel AI offering. And the situation is different. For example, in the case of decision support system, example in the pre-classification of radiological image data. Here, the use of AI enables a novel service. To monetize this, different business models can be examined away from the licensing business with one-off payments to the software as a service businesses, rental models or usage-dependent payments. At first glance, this benefits the providers of such solutions because they can forecast revenue much more precisely based on their user numbers over a long period of time. Users also benefit from such service offerings through reduced cost for the maintenance and configuration of the software, for example, through the automatic provision and updating of the service via the internet or cloud application. And in addition, the expenses for the services which replace high one-off financing are spread over the entire term. Very often, the business models are also supplemented by continuous product maintenance and included services such as protection against cyber attacks and data loss. And using AI, we can help you identify such areas and choose the best business solution for your business. I often hear companies complain that they invested a ton in AI, but in the end, the risk didn't pay off, or worse, it all out failed. And to be fair, the stats back up the claims, as according to Gartner. 85% of AI and machine learning projects fails to meet expectation. Just 53% of projects make it from prototype to production. Our analytical and business competencies enable us to help you not only in the technology side, but also business goals. We will try to discover your needs, know your users, and find the best way to achieve the best business outcomes of your projects. And most of the projects delivered by D-Labs were A to Z projects, also known as turnkey solutions. Our true value is delivering digital transformation within the organization using AI. And so here is how we'll be tackling projects moving forward. First, find the right AI for the specific KPIs. This allows companies to show employees that the uplift they will get from the solution. Second, minimize risk throughout the transformation. Any integration holds risks, but our experience helps us know when you are heading down the wrong path. And third, document every step. So knowledge share is crucial to a successful transformation, which is why we work so hard to help employees get comfortable with the new technology. Okay, thanks a lot for your attention. Let me check if there are any questions. Okay, do you have experience with the certification process? No, we don't have a direct experience with the certification process, meaning we didn't have been involved in the process. We have done some research in the past, what types of certification we would require in terms of our solution. There were 3 types of those, as far as I remember, FDA approvals / certifications in terms of US market. And we fall under type 2 or B. I don't remember the exact naming. but we have some people in the network that are doing this kind of certification, at least here in Poland. So if there is any need, I'm happy to share contacts or ask them to share some relevant info how to conduct these processes. Depends, of course, what kind of region you are considering or you would like to learn more, because there is for sure one for European Union and there is for United States. Others I didn't. Okay, right. So others I didn't research. So I think I can share some of that as well. Yeah, take care then, and thanks for attending the webinar, and hope to stay in touch. I will plan to probably to set up a new webinar for the next year with some other topics. Depends on some research. You can also share some later on some notes, some things you would like to hear. Happy to share. We have also experience in educational market, working with edtech companies, also with retail companies, also developing the new business models using AI for those sectors. So I'm thinking about putting a webinar on those topics as well. But and again, if you will have any other suggestions, happy to take that into account. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.